do something a little special because we don't usually do this, right? You know what I'm saying? This is something different. However, this is a big deal. We've been waiting how many years for this YNW Melly case to, like, you know, the trial to take off. And if anything, at the moment, I just want to, you know, sit down, watch the situation with you guys and react in real time. Now, apparently, if you're not aware, this is what happened. They are saying that YNW Melly killed his friends, bro. They saying that he killed his friends and try to say it was a drive-by. It's as simple as that. That's what they're trying to say. Now, this is the opening case of the prosecutor that claims that, you know, he killed his friends. And I just want us to look at this and see how they, you know, how they set up their case. You get what I'm saying? See how, the opening statement and, what's going on and all that good stuff. Now, have I been following this case heavy like that? I mean, when it first happened, yeah. And I watched, I mean, like all the many documentaries you can see on YouTube about it. But, yeah, I guess now we could probably get a little more refreshed on things and stuff like that when it comes to the trial. So let's check it out. Let's see what's going on.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On October 26th of 2018, this defendant shot and killed two of his friends. He killed Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to set out the story and how this unfolded and lay out what I expect the evidence will show during the course of this trial.
Not shot and killed his friends.
What we're going to hear is that at 4:35 a.m. on October 26th of 2018, Cortland Henry, the co-defendant, shows up at Memorial Miramar Hospital. In his car, he has two dead bodies. In the front passenger seat is Anthony Williams. In the rear passenger seat is Christopher Thomas.
Now, I'm guessing Corey, right? Corey is the guy that they're saying set up the situation with Melly. So this is the guy that they're saying showed up to the hospital with both of the bodies in the car and everything. So those two people, him and Melly, are the ones that's, you know, suspected of murdering their two other friends. So let's go. Let's continue.
They are dead. They are riddled with bullets, and the car is full of blood. Christopher Thomas is sitting in the rear. There is multiple defects to his body. Anthony Williams, who is sitting in the front, has two major injuries. Officer Jessica Amangor is working a detail at the hospital. Cortland Henry runs in, starts telling a story about a drive-by.
Oh, y'all saw that? You gotta pay attention to the air quotes. You know what I'm saying? That's a very strong statement right there, the air quotes, when she said, hey, drive-by, with the air quotes. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention. I'm no lawyer. But I like to act like one from time to time.
Quote-unquote drive-by. Cortland Henry, and you're going to learn a lot about Miramar geography during the course of this trial, tells a story that he and his buddies, just the two that are in the car, were at a music studio here in downtown Fort Lauderdale at 805 Northeast 4th Avenue. He's going to tell law enforcement, and you're going to hear this statement. You're going to hear the actual audio of him telling law enforcement. We were at the recording studio. We drove home because they lived out in West Miramar. You're going to hear Cortland say that they come across in the path of travel, that they're getting off the highway on I-75 southbound to go west on Miramar Parkway.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think they have a video of the what's the name? I think they have a video of what you call it. Them coming out of the studio. I think they have a video of that. I think it's right here. Yeah. Look. Right here, look.
What makes a trip unforgettable? You'll know it when
My
you
bad,
feel
y'all.
it. Make memories.
My bad. I ain't mean to have all the ads and everything. You think I should invest in an ad blocker if I do this, right? Look. I'm not sure. Was that guy YNW Melly from the, like, that was walking in the back? Was that him? Or am I tripping? Right here. That's not him, right? Nah, that's not him. There you go. There you go. I believe this right here is Melly right here. There you go.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes, all right.
Alright, so which ones are the ones that alright, looks like they're piecing up, leaving. Is it this car? The one that it happens in, or this car? It looked like Melly got in this car though. Said Melly was in the back when that went down. Did you guys see the guy that looked like Melly get in the back? Hold on, let me see real quick.
Yes, all right.
We're doing some investigative work while watching the trap. Yeah, he get in the back. Look.
Yes, all right.
Yep, he got in the back. Yep. I think this is the car where it happening, guys. This is the car where it happening. Yep. All right, so let's finish watching this real quick.
And you're going to hear that on Miramar Parkway, sometime between 160th, which is also commonly referred to as Dykes Road, and 172nd, Cortland Henry says they were shot at. That he ducked down, and you'll see him doing that in the video, and that he didn't see any car, he didn't see any people, he has no information, and that he quickly went to the nearest hospital. So you're going to learn that when you go on Miramar Parkway and you take that right at 172, Memorial Miramar is just about 1 mile north. So the distance between most major intersections in Broward County is 1 mile. So you're going to learn that from 160th to 172nd, 1 mile. From 172nd to the next major intersection on Miramar Parkway, 184th, 1 mile. So you're going to hear and find that Mr. Henry's statement that the car is traveling westbound on Memorial Parkway, then goes north on 172nd and shows up at the hospital for the drive-by is completely and utterly false. How can I tell you that, ladies and gentlemen?
Uh-oh.
The detectives from Miramar at this point shut down the entire length of Miramar Parkway from 160th to 172nd. And they sit and they walk side by side for an hour, that mile-long stretch, looking for evidence of this drive-by. Because evidence is the remnants a crime leaves behind. And in this case, the lack of evidence is very important. There is a lack of any evidence whatsoever to support that a drive-by happened on Miramar Parkway.
Uh-oh.
What would they look for? Shell casings, glass fragments,
Makes sense.
projectiles,
Makes sense.
tire marks. there is none of that found whatsoever. So then they said,
Bruh, there was nothing. All right, so she's saying nothing? Like nothing? No shell cases, nothing?
well, maybe we have the time frame wrong. Maybe we have the location wrong. So they walk an additional mile from 172 to 184th. Still nothing. No broken glass, no projectiles, no fire casings. Detectives know they have a Jeep that they are looking at the Memorial Miramar Hospital that has 16 easily identifiable bullet defects.
And they ain't found one shell casing?
Rear view window and 2 broken side windows on the passenger side.
Oh no. Oh nah.
So detectives work backwards. They are then able to determine that 805 Northeast 4th address, that it's a recording studio, and that the recording studio is equipped with cameras. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see footage from both inside and outside of that recording studio.
Uh-oh, here we
You're
go.
going to learn that on the morning of the 26th at approximately 1 p.m.,
What happened?
detectives went out to the recording studio to try and see if somebody had followed the victims, to find out how they knew where they were going to be to set up this drive-by.
Uh-oh.
In the video, that is the first.
Most people have.
Oh, come on.
The best.
I apologize, y'all. I apologize, man. I'm gonna get ad blocker. Watch, bro. I'm gonna get ad blocker one day.
That there was actually 4 people in that gray Jeep, and that the defendant, Jamel Demons, is in the rear driver's side seat. So let me set the scene for you at the recording studio, because there's actually 8 young men there. You're going to hear they arrived at the recording studio, not much was getting done. They were tired. They left at 3:19, and they got into 2 vehicles. So first vehicle is a red Mitsubishi SUV.
Yo, see, listen, you guys gotta pay attention. Like I said, why you think she brought up they was at the studio and they ain't really get much done? You know what that could be? You know what that could be? That could be the setup right there. That's the setup right there. YNW Melly was pissed off at his friends for wasting his studio time money. You know how much it costs for an hour at one of these nice ass studios? You wasting the bread just sitting around smoking, yeah, high. Now you talking about you tired? Yo, they trying to set it up like that, y'all. I'm not a lawyer, as you can tell.
In that red Mitsubishi SUV, 4 individuals get into it. Travion Glass, Dontavius Withers, Jacoby Mills, and Adrian Davis. They are in the red Mitsubishi. In the gray Jeep, you have the driver, Cortland Henry, rear driver's side passenger, Jamel Demons, Anthony Williams in the front seat, and Cortland Henry, again, the driver, Christopher Thomas in the rear. What you will find and what you will hear, ladies and gentlemen, is that this gray Jeep leaves the recording studio, goes over to I-95, takes I-95 south to 595, 595 across to I-75 south, I-75 south to Miramar Parkway. You're going to see traffic cameras from the Department of Transportation that show the cars going across 595, one after the other. In those videos, you're not going to see them stop. And it's just a small portion of which is covered by cameras on that. But then what you're going to see is the cell phone evidence. The digital leash. The item that is carried around in everyone's pocket
Yep.
in everyone's car
Them cell
on a daily basis.
them cell phones would do it to you. They'll do it.
Because you're going to see, as Janelle Demmons leaves that recording studio, he's got his phone in his hand, and he's playing on his phone. You're going to see on that phone information that Anthony Williams had his phone with him. And the interesting fact that's important to keep in mind is Anthony Williams, the deceased in the front passenger seat, and Jamel Demons, who is the shooter, in the rear driver's side passenger seat, have the exact same make and model of cell phone. Not only do they have the same make and model of cell phone, they are on the exact same cell phone plan.
Whoa, wait,
They're
what?
using the same service, the same cell towers, everything like that. So you can compare the information from those two cell phones and see how they track together.
Okay, wait, so she's saying that YNW Melly and his friend that's deceased that was in the front seat, what they was paying, one of them was like, they was on each other's plan. So one of them was paying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like how, like it's not like, you know, totally out of the norm, you know, that people, you know, on the same plan or whatever have you. But that's interesting. That's interesting. I did not know. I was not aware. Did anybody know that? Did anybody know that YNW Melly and his boy was on the same plan? I mean, I can understand. It's your bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he need a little help or whatever have you. Like, yo, bro, if you get on my plan, then you could get the phone, like, you know what I'm saying, for like half off for free, you know, something like that. All I know is for sure, all I know is this, what I will tell you guys. If your girl is in there talking about, oh baby, come, let's just get on my plan. Nah, I'll get you an iPhone. I'll get you the newest iPhone once it drop. Bro, don't do it. All right, don't do it, guys. I know some of y'all might fall for it. Oh, yeah, shorty really trying to hold me down. Don't do it. But let's continue.
Christopher Thomas, who's the deceased in the rear passenger seat, he had an iPhone as well, and he was on the Sprint service at the time. In the other car, that red Mitsubishi, Dontavius Withers also had a Sprint service cell phone. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have individuals in two cars, and all of the cell phone tracks together, going across 595, going until they get to Miramar Parkway and 184th. At 184th, the red Mitsubishi goes south, and you will then see it at 3:50 a.m. going through the guard gate at Sunset Lakes. That was the gated community in which the individuals were all living at the time of this homicide in October of 2018. On the Sunset Lakes guard video, the red Mitsubishi goes through, the gray Jeep doesn't. The gray Jeep instead goes north and then proceeds to go to the actual scene of the homicides. The gray Jeep goes north on 184th up to Pines Boulevard. From Pines Boulevard, it travels west all the way to the edge of the Everglades, where it is desolate, where it is dark, where there are no witnesses. The gray Jeep goes down south on US 27 and turns left on Pembroke Road. You're going to learn that Pembroke Road does not connect through. That right there, Pembroke Road dead ends at a trash facility. That at that recycling facility, you're not going to see people. You're not going to see activity. There's no street lights. And at 4:02 a.m., Jamel Demmons exits that vehicle and stages that drive-by.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I'm not gonna lie. And believe me, I don't want to believe that, you know what, someone that made, say you want someone, said you want someone. I really don't want to believe that he did this heinous act, okay? But my God, she is painting a vivid picture, bro. I feel like I'm seeing it happen as she's speaking. Like it's like I'm looking at it happen. Somebody needs to possibly make some type of like, I don't know, movie around this. Don't you hate when people say that? All people, the niggas always saying that shit. Yo, somebody need to make a movie. Somebody need to make a movie. Somebody need to make a movie. I'm mad. I was just one of those people just now. I'm disappointed in myself.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, remember, at this time, Miramar is going and working backwards. They're looking for communication to figure out how and why and how the location of this Jeep was known, why they would be targeted. At that point, there is no communication. You're not going to see any sort of phone calls, any sort of text messages going out, setting up any sort of meeting at the edge of the Everglades at 4 in the morning. What you are going to find is that after the surveillance footage is brought up, some of these other individuals say, oh no, we stopped. We stopped the car and Mr. Dimmons on the side of the highway got out of the gray Jeep and got into the red Mitsubishi. But ladies and gentlemen, it's important to know and look at the
Oh, my bad, guys. My bad.
because the details don't match up. One person says, oh, it's at this location. One person says it's over here on the side of the road. Look at what the physical evidence shows, and that's what I would suggest to you is the most reliable things. So on the physical evidence, the Jeep is towed to the Miramar substation, and a search warrant is executed on it. And at that point, officers, crime scene technicians, and investigators start going through the contents of the Jeep. And all of the ballistic from the drive-by are all coming from the passenger side in towards the driver's side. And then from the rear of the vehicle, forwards towards the front. The medical examiner's office is also conducting an investigation. You're going to hear testimony about the autopsies that were conducted on Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas. And this is when the suspicion, the investigation takes a turn. Because at that point, the fatal wounds for Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams are coming from inside the vehicle, from the rear driver's side passenger going out towards the passenger side.
Oh wow. See, this is why watching these opening statements is important, because bro, I did not know that they dipped to like some total desolate, you know what I'm saying, spot where no one is and allegedly set up the forced drive-by. I didn't know. I thought I thought it all went down like a block or two away from the studio, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. So yeah, it does seem sus when you're all the way out in West Bubblefuck. Nobody knows where you're at anyway. You're at a dead end place, 4 in the morning, doing God knows what. Like, what are you doing there? And then your ops just happen to be out at 4 in the morning at the same desolate West Bubblefuck spot where nobody is to kill y'all. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, now it's looking crazy. You see how she paints it? See how she put it like that? I didn't know that. You got to understand, the jury is listening to all of this right here. All of this. So if I'm coming up with this right here in my head, imagine what they're thinking.
The other interesting thing the medical examiner's office is going to tell you is that when the drive-by was staged at 4:02 a.m., the victims were already dead. The medical examiner will be able to testify and tell you that the fatal shots to Anthony Williams, to his head, that enters in the back of his head and exits at the top, blowing out the front passenger window, was fatal. And
Wow.
had the additional wounds that are consistent with the trajectories going through the vehicle, he was already dead. They are post-mortem inflicted gunshot wounds. The same for Christopher Thomas. You will hear from the medical examiners, Dr. McDougall and Dr. Souter, who conducted the autopsies, that Christopher Thomas was shot in his left cheek. That was the fatal shot for him. You're also going to hear about stippling. Stippling is unburnt gunpowder that's ejected from the front of a firearm when a bullet is fired. The best way to describe that and make it easy to understand, you have a handful of sand, soot, and a golf ball. You throw it, the golf ball is going to go the furthest because it has the most weight, the most mass. The sand weighs a little bit more than the soot, so it's going to go a little bit further, but not as far as the golf ball. The ash, the soot, which has almost no weight, no mass, therefore it can't have any energy put into it, falls very quickly. So that is the same principle that comes to gunshot residue and the powder tattooing that you're going to hear about, the stippling.
Okay, all right.
The bullet travels the furthest. The gunshot residue, the powder tattooing, the stippling, creates a pattern. And from that pattern, the medical examiner's office can give an approximate distance. Why can they not give an exact one? Because their firearm in this case was never recovered. Law enforcement made diligent efforts to go and dive multiple canals, search multiple areas, apartments, storage units. They were never able to find the firearm. So without the actual firearm that was used in this case, you can't accurately and reliably recreate a distance determination.
Okay. All right, YNW Melly's team. Look, we have an opening. It looks like we have an opening, guys. Y'all never found a gun. Look. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not here on either side, all right? I'm here with my popcorn, like just watching like everybody else, all right? I'm here with my popcorn, ready to see what the conclusion is going to be. But we got one, guys. We got one. You can't even find the firearm that you're accusing my client of using to take the life of his best friend. You're talking to me about all this gunpowder pseudoscience blabber blabber, you know what I'm saying, malarkey. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. Talking about sand and golf balls or whatever have you. And nobody wants to hear about it. If you can't find a gun, how can you prove that the shots came from where the examiner is saying? If the gun don't fit, you must acquit. Makes sense to me. Yo, they got an opening right there. They better tease that. They better push in on that wound. They got a little opening. That's a chink in the armor right there.
Common sense, ladies and gentlemen. The things that you learned in elementary school science about conducting science experiments, they apply just as much now as they did then. You have to minimize the number of variables. That's the only way to get an accurate experiment. So if you don't know the type of gun, you can't minimize the variables to get that distance determination. So what you're also going to hear is while law enforcement is going through that Jeep, they find one spent shell casing for a .40 caliber firearm. Why is that important? That shows a gun was fired inside of that car. You're going to hear that at once the location of US 27 and Pembroke Road was discovered, law enforcement goes out to that area as well. And there they locate an additional 8 shell casings, 40 caliber. But the interesting thing about that is that doesn't happen on October 26th of 2018. This happens on November 21st, almost a month later. Because that's when law enforcement gets the reliable cell phone tracking data that they use to determine that's the area that they need to be searching. Because at that location is where the cell phones of Christopher Thomas, Anthony Williams, and Jamel Demmons all line up at 4:02 a.m. That point, afterwards, Mr. Demmons' phone tracks with the 2 victims until about 4:20. So 15 minutes before Cortland Henry takes the victims to the hospital. During those...
Thinking about going solar, but
Hold
not
up,
sure
hold up,
whether
hold
it's
up,
worth it for your home.
hold
Well,
up, my bad.
Before you get
30 minutes, you're going to hear as to where the path went. You're going to hear that law enforcement then searched that path again looking for trace evidence, such as firearms. They didn't find it. But you're also going to hear that Jamel Demmons, on the side of the road, made a FaceTime video chat. At that point, he starts setting up the story. He FaceTimes his girlfriend at the time, Mariah Hamilton. Mariah Hamilton gets the phone call and screams, waking up her mother, Felicia Holmes. Felicia Holmes also sees the defendant, Jamel Demmons, on that FaceTime video call. And you're going to learn, ladies and gentlemen, that that's a data event on a cell phone. That it's not a call for the purposes of the cell phone companies. It's using data, accessing the internet. Felicia Holmes and Mariah Hamilton see Jamel Demmons outside, and he is saying he's just been involved in a drive-by, and he thinks Anthony Williams and Chris Thomas are dead. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Demmons is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location, to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then, about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Demmons has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls, accessing the internet. They have health data. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find and hear and be able to see the videos at the recording studio and see Mr. Demmons taking steps. Lo and behold, look at the health activity data, a pedometer, a step counter, that's what it is. 70 steps. Then you're going to see at 4:02 a.m. another 70 steps.
Oh, nah, bro. They counting the steps.
The time frame in which he's sending that drop pin to 4:53 a.m., you're going to see 1,397 steps. You will see this data showing the defendant had the phone and was using it. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I have to prove is the defendant committed a crime. And to do that, the state intends to show the evidence that the phone was there at the murder scene, and there were no other phones there. There is no one else out there at 4 in the morning. So to do that, the state has to convince each and every one of you that this was the phone of the defendant. You'll see in the messages and the contents of those messages him identifying himself. This is Melly, giving out that phone number to multiple people as being his phone number, 772-713-9807.
Oh, nah, she just doxed
To
him.
further prove that, the state is going to show you the Instagram, the Facebook, the Snapchat. Because contrary to popular belief, Snapchat doesn't disappear. And detectives were able to write a search warrant and get contents of Snapchat.
Yeah, bro. Can't do the Snapchat.
And there are things that are not. And so, ladies and gentlemen, specifically, the Instagram, the defendant, during the course of the months of October of 2018 through December of 2018, gives out his phone number 15 times. Says, this is me, and all during the same time frame of October 26th of 2018, he's giving out that phone number. So one of the other elements that you heard about initially was that this was committed by a criminal gang member in furtherance of a criminal gang. So what you will learn from the evidence, from the Instagram, from the private messages, was that Jamel Demons is a member of the G Shine Blood set.
Oh, she telling.
This is not a stage personality. This is not an actor that's playing a character. This was his real life. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see that as soon as October 24th, 2 days before the homicide, Jamel Demons is learning the oath of loyalty to the G Shine Blood set. You're going to see things in these messages that will be indicative of blood membership. For example,
Nah, y'all see, now I see where they're trying to, okay, I see what their angle is now. I see where their angle is. I see where they're trying to come from with it. Bro, they're trying to say this was a gang initiation. No way. She's trying to sit there and say that from the messages that they seen. No way. This is what they're saying? It was a gang affiliation? See, I thought they was gonna go down the his friends was wasting valuable studio time, and he lost it, you know what I'm saying? He was like, this is gonna be the last time these niggas gonna waste my valuable studio time. But she's saying this was a gang initiation. Why would they tell him to go and murk their two best friends though? Yo, blood in, blood out, right? I don't know, bro. It's crazy.
anytime a word
I used it for 20 minutes per day
Oh,
for 6
come
weeks, and
on.
these are my results.
$69 special
My bad,
forces device.
guys.
would normally be spelled with a C, as in Charlie, they don't use that. They replace it with the letter B. So instead of saying, I'm at the crib, they say, I'm at the rib. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because C is associated with cribs. B is for bloods. So if you look through all the messages,
I thought they was
you'll notice
dyslexic.
time and time again, Jamel Demons is dropping C's and using B's. And you're going to see pictures, you're going to see videos of the defendant doing something called stacking, which is a way to show a gang affiliation and to broadcast it to the world. And this is not just in music videos. This is not just in lyrics. Because we're not going to get into that. That's artistic expression. That's not why we are here today. We are here because the defendant murdered 2 individuals. So in summary, the last thing I want to tell you that the evidence will show is that in the Instagram, because the defendant had a moderate social media following at the time of these events, people are reaching out to him. Some fans, some friends, some associates. You'll see on October 26th, after about 8 a.m. in the morning, Eastern time, multiple messages are coming in. Messages are coming in from individuals checking to see if he's okay, if he's been injured in this drive-by. If it's true that Anthony Williams, who's also sometimes referred to as Sack, and Chris Thomas, who is referred to as Juvie, are really dead. one individual, and specifically, sends out, and I want to quote the message exactly that you will hear, and says, right after this, "Yo, homie, you good? Let me know something." And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is where context matters. What does that mean? If you work at Google and you say, "My whole floor is coding," that's a good thing. If you work at Broward General Hospital and you say, "My whole floor is coding," that is a bad thing. The context around the messages matters. So in the context of this message, this individual is reaching out, asking if Mr. Demmons is good, after he's been tagged in multiple social media posts about this drive-through,
Okay.
this shooting.
And what did he say?
Mr. Demmons responds very succinctly, "I did that." Shh.
No way, bro. No way. No way, Jose, bro. You telling me, see, bro, you telling me that this guy, they're alleging that he allegedly did this, right? And he got on, he admitted to it, basically. Talking about, "I did that, shh, keep it on the low, though." What you mean, keep it on the low? You just sent the message. It's not on the low now. There's no low about that. That's on the high. The very upmost high. The up much high. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's on the high. That ain't on the low. What is he talking about? No way this guy committed the crime and then went and told son that he did it. That's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of the evidence, the state is confident that you will find the defendant guilty as charged of the first-degree murder of Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams.
Nah, guys. This is crazy. Hold up. Now let's type it out. Let's do it again, cause let's see what his team is saying. You know what I'm saying? What's his team? Oh, I said YMS. What am I talking about? See, I just told on myself on what I be watching. I be watching YMS on what's it is. All right, so let's check out now. Oh snap! They said Boosie pulled up too, bro. Boosie baby pulled up in support of his mans. I can respect it. Now where's his?